up in a different generation because I always mess with my parents about this, about how they told us that video games wasn't gonna make us no money, right? And now you see all these streamers and they making millions, and they're like teenagers, just sitting there playing video games all day and streaming. And so and then it's like we were just talking about just the different jobs. So like being at an advertising agency or something like that, or something that's a little more like just creative, I guess, so to speak, has a little more flexibility.
Yeah.
And now all these opportunities to work from home as well, doing different jobs. It's like we grew up right there in like this gray area, right? Where we were still taught traditional ways, like this is how you're going to make a living. But we were on the cusp of breakthroughs in technology and just society advancements as well.
Yep.
So we know both sides, but unfortunately, like you said, we were trained in the traditional side.
Yeah.
And so that's what we know.
That's what was instilled in us.
Exactly.
Yeah, from a jump.
And so we don't get to reap the, well, I like to say we don't get to, but we're not, I don't know, like maximizing, I guess.
No, yeah. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Maximizing. Like you can get into it and you can definitely like do whatever you want to do, but just from the jump, just having that mindset of, oh, this is me, this is what I'm gonna do, and I know this is what I'm gonna do. So it's a little different.
Because like I even think about like we were ahead of our time in a lot of ways, because remember we were doing YouTube skits freshman year.
Yeah.
You know, and we got quite a few views, but that's when, like, if you got 1,000 views then, that was really good, because
tell me about it.
We didn't even know 1,000 people
exactly
to get those, because there was no like share this on Facebook. It was just like you went to YouTube and you saw it however you saw it, you know what I mean? So like getting that, I mean, you could share it to Facebook, but I mean it wasn't like it is now, where you can just,
I remember I had a poppin' Vine, and I didn't follow a lot of people on Vine. I didn't have a lot of followers, but I just made this dumbass video with my fish. And it was like me going back and forth, my face, I'm talking to the fish, and I'm using a dumb voice as the fish's voiceover. And that did pretty well. And I was like, wow. Didn't think nothing else of it. Like, damn.
Exactly. But you see, like, that's exactly what I mean, because it's like all these things that we were doing at that time that we were like, man, it's just being goofy and being funny. That's the stuff that's popping.
Yep.
You know, like we did the whole MTV Cribs thing, you know, parody. We did the LeBron parody. Like we did all those like parody things.
Shot music videos.
I mean, all the things like with gaming, all the times we was playing Madden, or I'm up there yelling and playing GTA and stuff, like we could have been streaming if that was available at that time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm playing GTA for 2-3 hours, 4 hours or whatever, I could be streaming.
Yep. And a good Friday night.
Right. We could be podcasting, but we could be in the room together because we're right there and doing it like, oh man, let's just set up and just do it. Like all the conversations that we had, like just when we were, you know, in the apartment or the dorms or wherever. And like, that's all content that it's in our memories, but we didn't get to
definitely in our memory,
you know.
Imagine if we had a podcast in the dorm room and then just like, you know, our random hallmates just stopped by. So Rob stopped by, Wilson stopped by, Dijon, Francis, Amos, like Frankie. Yeah, that would have been kind of nuts. We like a mini radio show for real.
Yeah, and then we would have been able to create. We wouldn't have to create because we already had it, but we had a team, so we would have had a team of content. You know how people be doing like content houses, where they're like, "Oh, yeah, we all go live here," and we already had that on campus. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
it's literally like 40 people that we had different, like 40 people that we could have had creating content and cross-platform, you know, cross-share audiences.
Mhm.
You know, with especially with everybody being from different parts. You from Nebraska, me from Missouri. You got people from Chicago, Minnesota. Like all these different areas would have been able to be hit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, but we were just in that gray area of like
Yeah.
we have it, but it's not at the point where you can make money off of it.
Right. And
So
plus we were what? We were on the engineer floor, so
yeah,
we would have to get everybody on the same accord,
yeah.
thinking the same, like, nah, I'm trying to study. That would have been me. I know I would have been tough.
Well, I feel like you would have been down once Thursday night hit.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I,
You're
we
not
would be
wrong
like,
about that.
we're just like, all right, let's pick a day. All right, we'd be like, all right, because you get done studying and stuff like by Thursday night, and so like Thursday night through Saturday, because you started studying on Sundays.
Mhm.
So through Saturday, we had all right, we could pick a day out. All right, hey Rick, Friday,
Yeah, that's
let's knock out some content. You know what I'm saying? And then you can do
Yep.
whatever, you know, we can do whatever after we finish. You know, but we had so many people, I think it wouldn't have been a big deal because I think everybody could have dedicated like
Ooh, that has, yeah.
one night, you know what I mean, to do something. So,
Yep.
but
That'd have been cool. That'd have been a little, yeah. That'd have been a little production.
yes, we could have made short
For real.
films and everything because we was already doing music videos. Sean was renting that camera from from wherever
Yeah,
whatever you
the
get them from.
equipment,
Yeah,
the electronic shop.
rent that mug. We start shooting. We go to campus and start shooting the music videos and all that stuff. We could have shot short films and everything. We had
Yeah.
a plethora of people that could have been writers and doing funny stuff. Man, we had a cool setup. So
Yeah.
but,
It could have been. But yeah, like you said, the gray area, the traditional of practicality and
mhm.
I don't know, kind of STEM driven type mindset and all that. So
Yep. Because even like if you even think about like the pioneers, like the people that we looked at, Maurice Kane, right? He was doing it way before a lot of these people, and he never really made it to where a lot of people are today. Like he's never made it to a Kai that level. You know what I
mhm,
mean? But he was big at that time. Spoken Reasons was big at
right.
that time. Now the guys off of Vine did make it, but they also had a parlay. It wasn't just like King Batch and them. They had a parlay into
They
acting
definitely did.
careers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even they still didn't make it to where like a Kai is because he he hit in the best part of it, right? Like he started in I don't know, like 2018 or something like that. I think
Mhm.
I saw, which that was probably the the beginning of that streaming, like the popularity of streaming. Because I remember he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Twitch and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was streaming started off more as gaming,
Yeah,
streaming games and all that. So
yeah.
there was a lot of that. And I think a lot of it's if I'm not mistaken, a lot of them played either like 2K or
Hmm.
some game they streamed and kind of transitioned from that to what is it? Daily streamer? Just
Yeah, yeah, like yeah. I don't know
lifestyle
what you
streamer?
call it.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, probably. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, like you said, they hit in the is it was starting to get popular 2018,
Mhm.
19, 20, especially 2020 when
Yeah.
COVID, especially that's when shit blew up.
Bro, and then there's these mixed feelings because I hear this, you know, often these mixed feelings about how people view COVID, which I get it because COVID was like people were getting sick and people were losing their lives, so it was tough. But like business wise, if you had an idea, that was probably the best time to do it because there was a lot of people that were just sitting around doing nothing. And
Mhm.
so people were buying stuff,
Yep.
buying and watching. So if you
Buying,
were
watching.
streaming, you had a podcast, you could probably find a market. If you had a product like you were making, I don't know, shirts or something like that, people weren't going to the store, so
Yeah.
you
It
got a
was
merch.
it was literally mass consumption,
Yeah,
both media, physically,
yeah,
buying stuff. Yeah, it was
yeah,
mass consumption.
a lot of businesses were made, and I think a lot of people came up, you know, off of COVID and us
Yeah.
being, stuck in the house. So
Yep. RIP some of the brick and mortars, but
yeah, for sure,
but
because it's unfortunate, but
yeah.
that's you can't predict that stuff. So you got to pivot.
Yep.
I pivot.
Flow with the wind.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of pivot, I just thought about it just now. Like we talked about it briefly, but Blockbuster had a chance to be Netflix essentially.
Yeah, I think what did Netflix they offered to sell or buy sell to Blockbuster or buy Blockbuster?
Well, I think it had some. I think they were going to sell to Blockbuster, and I think Blockbuster didn't believe in streaming or something like that. They didn't think that was going to be. They didn't think it was going to work.
Yeah, be the next big thing.
Yeah, and so, but so obviously when it took off, it was kind of like a little too late because Netflix had already kind of cornered that market, and it wasn't really any. I mean, it wasn't. You can't really jump in it. You know what I mean? It's like once Netflix took over, it was a wrap.
Yeah, once Netflix, yeah. Like, yeah. That was, that. I wonder how they felt in hindsight, like when they noticed this was the next wave and we missed the boat.
Yeah, because they closed, they're shut down.
I know, but I just want to know what was going through your mind. Like, damn, I really messed up, or I believed in myself. What did I do?
I will say I do commend them on believing in themselves, like you said, because I think that's hard to do. It's like, it's bittersweet because it's like you're sticking to what you believe people want, and that's the traditional thing where, hey, we go in, I'm going to get my pizza, I'm going to come over here and get me a movie and a game or something like that. Like people like that nostalgia, Same thing as movie theaters. Like people still, I do personally.
Yeah, we still go.
Yeah, go to a movie theater, get some popcorn, and we went. Mo and I went for, I don't know, Mother's Day or something.
Okay,
we went one day. We went for a date. We went, and I forgot, that was the first time I've been since COVID actually, and I forgot how much I loved it.
Damn, that's been a minute then.
Hadn't been to a theater since COVID, bro.
Damn.
Since the first time we shut down. So
yeah.
Okay, so
I know why. I know why.
Yeah.
I know why. But I know you, and I know you like going to the theater.
I love a good movie. I love.
I would have thought like maybe you got to sneak away once. Maybe you and Mo got to sneak away once or twice. But
so prior to kids, in my defense, I was still grossed out. So I because movie theaters are gross in general.
Yeah,
I already knew that, but then COVID,
that was true.
It grossed me out for like the next 2 years, basically, until we had, and then obviously we had kids. It was just kind of like, I mean, we're not.
It's like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
because I was skeptical as well.
Yeah, because I was like, that's the last place I'm gonna go, because I was so paranoid about getting sick and getting COVID.
They don't
clean
I
was like, no, they don't. Like they weren't doing it before COVID. They're not gonna
do it
They're not because COVID happened. Like, no,
fresh air.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's just a box of germs.
All right. Yeah, but okay.
But
because we saw the newest Mission Impossible not this past weekend, but the weekend before.
Was that good?
I'm not too much of a Mission Impossible fan. So it was cool though. It kept me engaged. Third act was way too long. This scene with the airplanes and shit.
Hey yo, are you one of those people?
What?
You be breaking the movie down into acts?
No, I just know what third act is because I know it's towards the end, so I can just like, oh, that's third act.
Y'all annoy me, bro. Y'all annoy me. I'm so like basic. I'd be like, yeah. So like at the end of the movie,
this shit was like 45, at least 30 minutes. I was like,
the last act,
the scene. No, this airplane portion of it.
Oh.
So yes, the third act was extra long. The movie itself was, if not 3 hours, it was dang near.
Oh, hey.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And so going in knowing that, I dozed off. I woke up. They're still in the airplanes and shit. I was like, all right. I gave it what 7, I think 6.5, 7.
Oof.
It's just not my favorite movie.
I haven't watched any of. You know what though, but I don't really watch Tom Cruise movies. I know
Same.
I know
That's the thing.
he's a great action hero because he does all his own stunts. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I'm not.
Same. Like things because he does all his own stunts because he's is he compensating for being a small man?
You know, I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too because he's like what 4 feet tall or something like that.
Something like that. just a smidge over 5 foot.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm about to look him up now. Tom Cruise height. That's one of the first things that pop up. He's 5'7". I think they lying.
That's bogus.
Yeah, I don't know about that because he looks way smaller than 5'7".
Yeah,
there's no way he's taller than Kevin Hart.
No.
And Kevin Hart's like 5'3". I'm not buying it. 5'7". Yeah, I'm not buying it. Okay, I'll give him that. I don't know. I've never.
All right, we'll go with that.
Yeah,
but standing shoulder to shoulder with some of the women actors, that leads me to believe that might be a little false. But anyways, yeah, he does all his own stunts. But I can't name besides Mission Impossible. Yeah, he's one of those ones I can't name some movies because I just don't.
What's the airplane movie? What's the airplane movie? Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
Top Gun.
I was going to say Footloose, but I don't think that's right.
Nah, not Footloose. I asked somebody. Dirty Dancing. Okay. I asked somebody if that was John Travolta. It wasn't John Travolta. I forgot who they said it was.
Oh, okay.
Footloose. But yeah,
is he in Dirty Dancing?
I don't know. Let's see. Tom Cruise.
No, I don't think he is.
Movies. I know he has a crazy catalog. So, gosh, what is this? Okay, so obviously all these Mission Impossibles and Top Guns. I did see Night and Day, I think.
All right, yeah, let's go through the list of films and name the ones we've seen.
Oh, bro, it's a million. All right, so let's just say this: Mission Impossible series. Have you seen any of those outside of the one that you saw at the theater?
Maybe 3.
Okay, you seen 3 of them?
No, Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, Mission Impossible 3. I haven't seen any of those.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of the Top Guns. I know there's like maybe 2 of them, I think. American Made, Jack Reacher. I didn't see any of those.
Oh, I saw Jack Reacher. Okay.
Mummy, the newer one, the 2017 version, which I saw that. It wasn't very good. Oblivion, Edge of Tomorrow, Rock of Ages, Valkyrie. He was in Tropic Thunder. Valkyrie, yeah.
He was in Tropic Thunder.
I didn't know that.
Oh, he must not have been one of the big. He's obviously not a big 3, but
yeah. Collateral, The Last Samurai. Hold on, wait a minute. He was not in this. He was in Austin Powers Gold, remember?
I don't know. I can't remember Austin Powers.
Oh, Minority Report.
Oh, okay. Minority Report.
War of the Worlds. I think I've seen that. So far I've seen like 3.
I've seen Rain Man.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen that. Did I see Jerry Maguire?
Oh, Jerry Maguire, good one. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that though. But
might have seen that on TV.
Okay.
Oh, The Last Samurai. I did watch that.
You did?
That was there was a big uproar because he was playing a samurai, and it was like, are they got a white man playing a samurai?
Yeah.
It's
just like if they let me play Abraham Lincoln. Yeah.
Yeah. I did see Tropic Thunder, Jack Reacher. Okay, so I've seen a little bit more than I thought, but still not a lot compared to a Denzel or even The Rock. Shit, The Rock. Yeah, so
The Rock plays literally the same character in every movie.
But
you know what though? I'm not mad at him because if I can get paid whatever he gets paid, he's probably getting at least 20 million a movie. I want to see how much he makes a movie.
Yeah, it's probably He probably got a whole written up contract, like it's minimum for every production that he's on set and all that.
Yeah. See, it says one of the highest paid actors, and he can earn over $20 million per movie. I figured that. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm getting paid $20 million, I will be the same exact person every time per movie. Yeah.
Who was the one that said they can't get beat up or punched more than a certain amount of times in a movie?
I don't know. Steven Seagal?
I don't know.
Michael B. Jordan?
No, I don't think it's him.
Maybe it was The Rock.
Yeah,
I remember Michael B. Jordan saying that he got hit too many times in Creed. He got hit more than he should have been, which I mean.
Oh, it was Vin Diesel. Okay. Or no, is it Vin Diesel or Rock?
It would make sense if it was Vin Diesel because I ain't seen him get punched in anything. The Rock be getting worked. Pause. I've seen The Rock get beat up.
Yeah, that's true. I think it is Vin Diesel.
Yeah, probably Vin Diesel because I heard Vin Diesel's kind of diva-ish.
Probably is.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't met him in person, so I can't say for sure. But I thought I heard some people like in interviews or whatever just talk about it. Like he's kind of.
Didn't they say he had a rap song?
He do?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait a minute. Hold up. YouTube. I'm about to find it.
Well, I'm about to let's see. Because Vin Diesel has some bangers. I'm about to go through a few of them.
Like movies, or are you talking about
movies?
Oh, okay.
Not music. Hell no.
I was about to say, I'm like, what?
Saving Private Ryan, Pitch Black. I remember XXX. I like that. Fast and Furious, obviously. I didn't really see Boiler Room. Heard that was good though. Chronicles of Riddick.
Yep.
Did you like Babylon AD? Do you remember that one?
Babylon AD. That sounds familiar.
It's like science fiction.
I don't know if I watched it though. Now I think
kind of dystopian. Okay. Yeah, it stopped in the early 2000s. His bangers.
Yeah. What?
That seems about right.
Yeah. I stopped watching so many of the Fast and Furious. I don't remember all those. I think I watched The Pacifier. I did watch. I can't remember. Okay, so Riddick and Pitch Black, are they the same thing?
Yeah, it's the
prequel.
Yeah, prequel.
Okay.
Yes.
Saving Private Ryan. I never watched that, but I heard of it. I did watch one of XXX, but I think Ice Cube was in another one.
Of XXX?
Yeah.
The later one?
I think so. You said he was in Babylon AD?
Yeah.
As who?
It says as Hugo Cornelius
Torup.
I don't remember either. Was he a main? Yeah, he was a main.
Okay.
Yeah, he has to transport a girl from Asia to New York.
Oh, okay. He's an interesting guy. He's a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
Who won between him and The Rock? Because didn't they fight in like one of those Fast and Furious? I can't remember who won that fight.
I thought they hit each other at the same time and knocked each other out, so no one really won or lost.
That's whack. Because we know in real life The Rock is winning that.
Exactly. The Rock is putting a hurting on Mr. Diesel.
It's not even close. It's not even close. I'm not buying that.
So digital twins, aka the death of privacy, right?
Uh-huh.
Are they collecting all this information on us and basically making a carbon copy AI version of us?
Okay.
And then what from there?
Okay. This is interesting because remember how that there was that SAG strike?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember part of it was because they wanted to make AI. They wanted to not AI, but they wanted to make a digital version of people to where they can use them in background characters.
Yep.
And they wanted to copy some of. I guess they wanted to try to get some of the main, whoever would sign off on it, so that way they can use them and use their likeness.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is interesting. So now my question is this: do you think that they could eventually they can do this, but then they can eventually create a physical clone? Like it doesn't maybe not necessarily like
Oh,
bioengineered, but like you know how
mhm.
they're making AI robots.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Same difference. Yep.
Yeah.
So essentially we're being watched everywhere we go, right? We're on camera,
Mhm.
surveillance or whatever. So what if they're taking just all that information along with our daily conversations, our searches, all that. And because yeah, they can make, you can generate different people
Mhm.
using AI, generate different people, but there's nothing like the real thing of like having a real nuanced human being
Right.
compared to something that's computer generated, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, taking all that and then just encapsulating it and making either, like you said, making either just an AI model that
Mhm.
lives digitally or uploading that into a physical animatronic robot model and then having that be a clone.
That
That's insane. I
that
didn't
part scares me the most.
Yeah, I didn't think they would. That's not where my mind went to first. No. Mine was just thinking of having it online,
Yeah.
being out in the ether, but having a physical person, that is, like you said, that is scary.
Because the online presence, they do that kinda now with the
Mhm.
deep fake stuff, and so that is scary, but, typically they do that for, like, people they feel like they can get something out of. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like they won't necessarily pick you and I because it's like, I mean, I don't know what
Yeah,
you're gonna
we don't have
get from
a
me. Yeah,
likeness. Yeah.
right. Uh, but at some point, yeah, because I always think about stuff like because they're always trying to create like these physical things at some point, and that's why I always go there with it because that's the part that starts creeping me out because then it's like, well, you can't create 1,000 rocks, right? Like I can't like if I'm trying to like clone people, I don't want to clone like or use like a AI robot version of the rock 1,000 times, right?
Right.
Because eventually it's starting to be like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
is this is clearly, you know, but that's where like people like you and I become more like can become more susceptible, I feel like, because we don't stand out.
So people are less likely to know our true character
E
and okay.
Exactly. So it would be more likely for our like rather than using us digitally to take something from us, I feel like we would be more useful to get something from somebody. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that right.
Mhm.
Like we don't have anything that
Yeah.
somebody would value per se.
Yeah, no one wants to necessarily take anything from us or
Yeah. Yeah.
aspire to be us just in general.
Right.
So, yeah, we would be like a drone,
Yeah.
be used more in
Exactly.
that sense.
Yeah. Because if I saw the rock walking to Macy's and steal a suit, I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
why?
Yep. All
This is
eyes on him.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like if somebody used a copy of me to go do it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I think I did hear he was hurting at the job.
Right.
think
Like,
he think he lost his job. So,
yeah,
hey, try to hurt
down,
his
right, down on the luck.
yeah.
So,
But so that is it's a bit unnerving though.
yeah. Also, if you think about it, like you said, if it were the case where they cloned a single thing multiple times and like the clones they degrade or whatever, the
Yeah.
quality degrades. If they had this source file, aka the brain, and they
Mhm.
can just plop that in each individual robot instead of using biometric matter or whatever. Um, yeah, it'll be more precise.
Yeah.
It's like you get the same thing every time. You wouldn't have
Mhm.
to worry about the variability.
But how do you prevent that? Because I feel like, sorry, I feel like that we got everything online. And when you're born, they take a sample of your blood anyway, because they got to test for like, different diseases and all this, like stuff that, whatever, genetic stuff. So it's like, that's why when people be like, oh man, I don't want the government having it, the government already got it. They already got it. In order to get, if you got a social security card, they got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about hiding nothing. If they want to know it, they'll get it. Yeah. The fact is, just like I was saying, we're not of any type of threat, or like we don't have anything of value to people in those higher positions for them to even use something like that on us. But it's not to say that, like you said, that it can't be used.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's already out there.
It's already out there. So do you think there's at least at the minimum, well, they already kind of did it. There's a file on everyone, a digital file. So, because what was it called? I forgot when they gave the okay to monitor everybody on the internet.
I actually don't know what that's called.
But yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's at minimum a file.
Yeah, there definitely is. Everyone. There definitely is. There's so much, kind of like what you're talking about. Like whenever we get on the social media, there's a bunch of fine print, right? So this whole thing with where people are afraid of Facebook sharing their information on this stuff, Facebook's doing it. Facebook owns Instagram.
Long gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook also owns
that ship sailed.
Whatever else they own.
Meta.
Yeah, they own all that stuff. So when you sign up, our privacy is gone. That's in the fine print. And I'm sure we all know that. Nobody's reading it. We just try to act like, oh no, I didn't agree.
It doesn't matter.
Or it doesn't matter. But I mean, we've already agreed to it. So whatever but that is why I'm kind of like, when people when they be doing those games on Facebook where it's like, oh, see what you would look like.
Yeah. Just feeding the beast, huh?
Yeah, because it always, because I remember I used to do them in college, but they always had that little disclaimer.
Yeah.
Like you have to click this to keep doing it. And it was like, oh, okay, but you don't read it. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna be able to use your stuff later. So this is what you would look like if you was 67 years old. This is what you look like at 3. Like,
didn't know you were doing freaking studies for someone.
That's the file that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's a way that they can get those variants of ourselves, right? So like, if they was like, all right, we see Jordan, they know what he looks like right now. We don't want to use him right now. Let's use him, a version of him at the age 17. Let's
they logged it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let's see what
catalog.
We'll use this at 17. Let's give him dreads. Yeah. Let's make one of the dreads blonde. Yeah.
He flips it to the side.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Let's give him a small little mustache, no beard. We can add a little scar over his eye to make him look a little distinguished. Yeah. That's good. Let's make him just a tad bit more dark-skinned. I think at that point it just becomes like a created character.
Yeah.
Because they are, like you said, they already got the profile, so we already know, all this stuff about them. Who's to say that, them HIPAA things are truly private? You know what I mean? I'm just saying
everything. Huh?
We get everything. Yeah, it's like, hey, we can see all your doctor's visits and all that stuff. Like, if we want it, we got it. We want to create something of you. It's essentially they clone Tyrone.
Yeah. That's I hope they don't use the digital stuff for malice.
It will be eventually.
I know.
It will be eventually. It's just a matter of time, and the problem is kind of like how we talked about before. Is like AI is available to everybody, and it shouldn't be, because we've already proven that we don't use technology productively
or for them betterment. Hopefully they don't keep everything as one file then. Hopefully it's broken up into
Oh,
you have to have pieces
you mean
to
like
have,
for one person or like for everybody?
yeah, for everybody. Put it
Oh,
like that, for everybody. Because we don't need a data breach and our personalities are out there. That
bro.
would be the ultimate. For you to fuck a Social Security.
That's not even that's what I'm thinking. It's like Social Security is not even the biggest part of it, because yes, it can financially ruin you, but I mean, just your likeness in general.
Yeah.
I mean, forget all that. Like, talking about prison time, like,
Yeah, right.
you know what I'm saying? Your Social Security number don't matter if you get
Imagine.
prison time. You're getting a prison number now.
Yep. Just imagine.
Now, here's the thing though. Would you be upset if your likeness was used as a spy, like for government business? Like, all right, we don't want to use, like, it's not a real person. It's not a real person. Like, it's an AI bot, but it has your likeness. So they had to make it look like a person to an extent. And they had to use it to do like some secret ops stuff.
Spy work.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything risky like that. Do you get paid for it, or does the
Oh no, you're not getting paid for this. They're just using you. No. You won't.
Huh?
No, you won't see any of that money. They would never tell you that.
So yeah, and I wouldn't know.
Nah.
Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. Hopefully they wouldn't. Hopefully they're a good enough spy where the identity wouldn't be leaked, or like they wouldn't get caught on camera or something, because then they could come for you.
That's the scary side of it.
Yeah.
Because I thought about it at first before I asked the question. I was like, man, that'd be kind of dope to know that somebody that looks like me is out there doing some cool stuff. He getting into fist fights and doing some secret stuff, and but then I got brought back to reality by that exact thought. Like, man, what if he's trash? He get caught on camera, and then him like, hey, there he is, right there. He's at Starbucks.
Like, what I do? What I do? You were in France last week,
right? France? I couldn't even get to Paris, Texas. You think I'm going to France?
Exactly. But even if so say if there was one that not a spy but like famous, well known in the spotlight, how would you deal with that?
So like a version of me that was a well known. Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad, bro, because that means they living out my dream.
Exactly. They living out your dream. You got to deal with residual BS. I guess you may be able to.
Hey, bro, you look like so and so would, excuse my language, it would piss me off. Yeah. Like, bro, you look like dude that was in the movie. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's me.
That's me. That's me. That's version 63 of me.
Yeah.
Like,
so you say, I just said you look like him, but not that much.
Yep. Oh, like I got the source file. I'm the source file.
Right. Bro, hey, so I went to when I went to this convention thing. I think I told you about it before. I went to this little convention thing for a job I had a few years ago, and they had like the little lunch period or whatever, and the people in the room was putting the plates out and stuff like that. And I was walking past, and this is older black lady, and she stopped and looked. And then she looked back down and she looked again. She's like, oh boy, I thought you was Nick Cannon. I was about to say, what's Nick Cannon doing here? Now, mind you, we in the middle, like we in like Wichita, Kansas or something like that. And she was like, I was like, what's Nick Cannon doing here? I'm like, okay, let's stop.
Yeah, chill out.
Stop this. Like, no.
Love don't cost a thing.
Okay. Yeah. I got called that, and I get called sweetness a lot, bro.
For real, sweetness. Yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yep.
The first time I remember getting called sweetness was by this kid. We was at that swimming pool, that swimming park that opened up in Ames. That
the water park thing.
Yeah, so I went there the summer it opened up, and it was like these little kids in the pool or whatever. And this kid was like, man, you look like that dude from Roll Bounce. And I was like, who, Bow Wow? He's like, heck nah. He's like, I'm talking about sweetness. I'm like, okay. Like,
They set you ass up.
Yeah, he did. He got me. I was about to say, I'm like Bow Wow. I'm like, I don't like Bow Wow. I'm like a foot taller than Bow Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of water parks, did you ever go to the Schlitterbahn in KC?
No, I didn't.
When that was around? I just watched the YouTube video of it last night, and it talked about obviously that the Verruckt, the tallest water slide or whatever.
Yeah.
It was only open 180 days.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was.
think I wrote that mug probably like 3 times in those
you?
180 days. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. But I was just thinking back on it. I'm like, wow. Why was I at the water park 3 times within 180 days? First off, because I think it was just people coming down to visit KC, like from Omaha and stuff, and we just went over there. But yeah, I was like, ain't no way. Yeah, I was like, that's a lot.
I just
considering
did slow math. 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
So yeah, that's crazy. You went to the water park 3 times in 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. So yep.
Yeah.
Probably twice one summer and then early the next, something like that.
Okay.
And then yeah, I guess from the jump, the designer, the park owners, they knew that ride wasn't safe from the jump, and they was covering it up from the jump, like the safety, the testing results, and all that. I was like, damn, my life was spared.
Yeah, because see, okay, this is why I'm always sketchy when people trying to do something for the first time or trying to break a record or something like that. Because
the Guinness Book.
I feel like a lot of stuff gets skipped, like or on purpose, because it's like, well, what's the like they'll say this, what's the chances of this happening? And if they're like, all right, we can make history, or we can rely on this 72% chance of this happening, I'm gonna make history.
Yep.
And it's like, then when somebody's life is lost, now
it's like, dang.
Yeah. Because nobody's gonna remember that you made history. They're gonna be like, yeah, this was the tallest water slide until they,
until that happened. Now it doesn't even exist no more. So
right.
What was the point of it?
Exactly. Asterisks.
Yeah.
It's like Barry Bonds when he broke the home run record.
Mark McGuire.
Yeah. You did it, but you did it with help.
Yep. Little assistance. But no, that was just a little caveat. You said water park, and I thought of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, we touched on AI a little bit again. So that obviously it's in the now.
Yeah.
It's not a topic that's going away. It's just going to keep developing. So
that's why I think I'm okay with talking about it.
Yeah.
As much as we do, because there's always something new that's happening. Like you said, it's always developing. It's I think it's important though too that people understand, like, because we make jokes about like the stuff that they could do with AI and things like that. But I think it's important too that people understand, like, just to be aware, because I don't want to say be afraid, because I feel like there's a lot of good things that can happen too. I think that I'll speak for myself. I think it's easy for me to see the bad that can happen, that can come from it, because I'm just that type of person. As far as like when it comes to new stuff, I'm always thinking like, all right, how can humans mess this up? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a skeptic. So I think that's just a personal thing. But I think it's also to be understood that, man, there's a lot of good stuff that can come from it, but it has to be used in that way. So, I think it's all about also, because, bro, I was playing around. This is the first time I actually tried to use something that's like, it's not the first time I use AI, but first time I intentionally went to go seek it out. I was like, oh, I want to create like this design. I had the design in my head. And so I put it into Canva, and it spit the image out. And I was like, oh, these are dope. But I didn't have to pay a graphic designer to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could do it myself just by typing it in. And so, like, stuff like that, like if you're a content creator, or you're creating merchandise, or whatever the case may be, I think you can start doing things on your own. You don't have to pay somebody for it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but you're a creator, so you shouldn't be preaching that.
No. Yeah. So this is within reason. I do believe I like a human. I mean,
You
pause. I
touch?
like human touch. Pause. Because I think that there's like you said earlier, there's things like there's nuance, there's little what we consider imperfections that make a project or make art perfect, right? That you can't get with AI because AI is it's going to create it perfectly, right?
Yep.
This circle is going to be a perfect circle every time.
Hell yeah.
Unless I tell it to
the
kind of
pixel.
mess it up, but then it's going to make it messed up perfectly. So,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm just speaking on things like, for example, like I'm not artsy like as far as drawing, but I also don't have like $500-$600 to just give to somebody to create it.
I get
So
you.
if I wanted to make, like if I wanted to start creating shirts and hats and stuff like that, that's something that I have access to now.
I get what you mean because there is levels to things. So
yeah,
obviously, if you commission a piece, that person's going to put their time and effort, blood, tears, and sweat into that, and hopefully, you see that in the result compared to an AI generated whatever.
Yeah.
So
because
I get you.
I also saw something like which I thought was dope. Because I think this is how they're doing it. I'm not sure. I didn't really look into it, but like there was this videos like a little short or something like that, or ad where it's this company that will take it could take your story or a story that you give it and create a song. Like this husband made a song for his wife through this. Like sometimes I think things like that are cool. Like I think that's I wouldn't want to pay somebody to write a song about my wife. Like if I don't know how to do it. Like I did one for my wife. I did one for my daughter. I got to do one for my youngest. But if I'm a person that can't do that, but I want to express to my wife, like, how much she means to me, and I know she loves music, and I'm like, oh man, she would love to have a personalized song. If I could just, use this app or, pay this little fee or whatever it is for this thing to create a song based on a specific story, I think things like that are cool. Like, it's a gift. You know what I mean? It's a gift, but I don't agree with it for like people trying to create projects and sell it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, that's there's an asterisk. Like there's people that are trying to create skits. Fine, if you're not a great writer, but you have an idea and you just don't know how to like flush it out, you can put it in there. It can give you like an idea, it can give you an outline. You can go in there and edit it. Fine, but like people that are trying to step on the art world by doing that, I don't agree with it. Like people that's like, I'm about to start making Hollywood movies and try to sell this to like, no. Skits, cool, fine. In every other form, music, all that stuff. Like if you're trying to compete with real people that are doing this,
real artists.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But when you put all that stuff into AI, that's goes back to the whole digital cloning thing, because then I'm sure that it's storing all this information of like, this is what they like to talk about. This is what they do. Like, I'm sure it's storing all that stuff somewhere. It's all connected.
Yeah, it's all. And I bet they have a way where they encode the stuff so they can capture way more than we even anticipate.
Yeah, it's gonna get there. I wholeheartedly feel like it's gonna get to that point sooner than later, where it's just gonna be it's gonna be chaos.
For the time being, like you said, I'm excited. I am excited to see what advancements it brings, how it can make things easier, stuff like that. So
no, for sure.
It's the next wave of the, because we already had a technology boom, so it's like the next wave of it. Kind of can look at it like that.
I did see somewhere they was
leveling up.
They thought it was going to cut out like a certain percentage of like white collar jobs. AI.
Damn.
I forgot what percent it was. It was a big enough percentage that was like, yeah, that's.
We'll see if society succumbs to
they ain't gonna have a choice.
We'll see. We'll
'Cause
see
if
if
you
they fight back.
but if you don't own nothing, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the owner of my company today said, "Hey, we're letting you go because we got AI technology that can do exactly what you do except faster," there's nothing I can do.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Congress would have to step in and be like, nope,
Yep.
can't fire people for AI. You have to make them work with it.
That's what then they'd be like, well, then we have to pay for like the training. So then they probably cut our salary and be like, hey,
Some getting cut.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're not going to pay for the technology and us and then still give us benefits too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said about, remember when there was like the whole thing about they were doing like the self-checkout stuff. I remember talking to some of my students about that. I was like, I better start having all these attitudes because this self-checkout gonna take your job when you at work. Like, you have any, they was talking about, yeah, I be telling them and this, that. Okay, watch. And then when you go to Walmart, it's 3 people working at the checkout and it's like 20 self-checkouts. There was a fully automated McDonald's when people was trying to fight for minimum wage.
Oh yeah.
Boy, I better take that $10 or whatever you getting and make it work.
That robot McDonald's down the street.
Yep, because I tell you what,
touchscreen.
Ain't all 5 of y'all getting $20 an hour. It's gonna be one of y'all, and then one of y'all gonna be running all this technology.
Yeah. So there'd be 2 employees versus the 5 of y'all.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not trying to make light of those situations because I do agree. I think people need to be making more money because everything's going up in price. But also, I gotta be realistic. Like these companies don't care about that. They trying to make money.
Dollar. Yeah, the bottom dollar.
So if it's cheaper to use technology than people, I believe it. Our jobs are gone. So better start podcasting.
Damn, for real.
Yeah.
Damn, we truly live in interesting times. Like if you think about it,
Dude.
Like not even trying to be funny. It's just like wow. Can't even really put everything into perspective. So I'm not even going to say that. Like with everything in perspective, but it's just like when you do think about certain things and do the deep dives or just talk the shit that we do, it's like wow.
Some of it's funny and some of it's like, hey, real. Because it's like, man, I mean, you could make a living doing what we do, right? But it also takes, you got to market it right, and you got to have a lot of things go in play. So you can make a living doing it, but and in that sense, you only going to be replaced if you allow yourself to be replaced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's also not realistic for everybody to do this. So, that's the other thing. So some people really do have to go and punch the clock every day, and so that's where it's like
myself included.
Yeah, myself included as well. So I don't say that like we like balling off, like we ain't making nothing off of this. We doing this for y'all entertainment, but we gonna get there if y'all keep subscribing and stuff. We going up. So So before we get to the Wiki Game, I just want to go briefly. I had another sport that I wanted to, because I saw this when I was scrolling through.
Oh yeah. What's up?
It's
not dwarf tossing.
No. Hey, bro, I know y'all did not think that was a
That's what I heard, bro.
Hey, y'all because y'all all started laughing when I said it. I said dwarf tossing, and y'all was like, I was hoping y'all would pick that one because I really wanted to show y'all that. But it
was a little surprise.
All right, so but okay. I saw a new game. It's not new, but there was a game, I guess, that used to do this, because now this makes me there was a game. Oh, yeah, it was from the 1950s to the 1960s, and it was called Octopus wrestling. Exactly what you think it is.
Oh, because they wrestling octopi?
Yeah. Octopus wrestling involves a diver grappling with a large octopus in shallow water and dragging it to the surface.
Oh my gosh.
It was called wrestling. It was not wrestling. Most octopus. I thought it was octopi too. Is it octopus?
Probably both.
Okay. are rather skittish and not aggressive at all unless they are provoked, which most cases of provocation, say that word right. And then with the octopus fleeing, the contestants were usually only searching in holes along rocks in the ocean to grab the head of the octopus. Once a diver caught an octopus, he continued to pull until the animal gave up. So they were doing this in shallow waters. First of all, this is good to know because I thought they were really like in the water, and
well, I thought they were in a baby pool, something like that.
Even that's better than what I thought, because I thought they were really in the water. Like, this was televised. The event was televised and attracted up to 5,000 spectators. That's a lot for the 1950s and 60s. 10 years. So boom, 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 boom. Divers took part in the World Octopus Wrestling Championships. A total of 25 giant Pacific octopuses were captured that day, ranging in weight from 4 to 57 pounds. Due to a deal to televise the championships, and as not sufficient octopuses could be found at the beach, the organizers placed several octopuses which they had caught in advance of the contest along the beach to promise action and ensure a successful contest.
Wow.
So
they rigged it.
Yeah. Which you would have to if it's televised. Like, because I'm not about to watch people just, I guess we
swim around.
Yeah, you just swimming around in there looking for it. Here's the thing. This would have been a more interesting question. A large octopus, right?
Giant Pacific.
A giant Pacific octopus? That's what it was. Giant Pacific. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. How many men? How big do these things get? Pause. Adults usually weigh around 33 pounds with arm span 14 feet. Good grief, 14 feet.
Man.
Some larger individuals have weighed up to 110 pounds. Goodness. What? With an arm span of 20 feet. Oof. A giant octopus, large suckers. And can support 35 pounds each on each sucker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how many suckers do they have on there?
I don't know.
7 of octopus. For the largest species of octopus is the 7-arm octopus, based on incomplete. Okay, my question is, do you think the average, like one-on-one, a human being could defeat, no weapons, in the water, defeat an octopus, like in a real wrestling match?
No. Because they're smart. One, if they run away, that's not defeating.
Right. No, I'm talking about like this octopus is mad, like it's aggressive and it's gonna fight.
Yeah. So I think it. And then I've seen a Instagram clip of a small octopus almost suffocating a diver already.
Oh, because it just jumped on the face.
Yeah, because it got him on his face. So
like Alien.
Yeah, exactly. So if a small one like did him like that, just imagine a 10-foot one with a 14-foot span of arms and shit.
So okay, I want to see how many. That's what I was trying to figure out. How many suctions on octopus arm? I don't know if it has like a straight up answer on that, but it looks like a lot though. I saw one. We went to the zoo just this past weekend, and I saw one at the zoo, and it was a smaller one, and I was like, yeah, that's terrifying. Anything bigger than that, because like you said, they are smart, and 35 pounds is a lot for just one, because the suckers ain't nothing but like that. So
2.5 inches.
So for that to be able to hold 35 pounds, and then you figure an arm, they're 14. They said 14 feet on average length of arms, and it looks like they cover up the whole thing too. So it's like look at this. So if it's like covering up the whole thing, like they're like 2x2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about a 14-foot. How many you think that is?
Yeah, over 100.
Yeah.
Easy.
So we're talking about 3,500 pounds worth of grip, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
How many men do you think it takes to defeat an octopus in water? Because we're not swinging. You're not punching it.
True.
Not in water. Like, what can you do?
Minimum of 8
to get grabbed up? 8 men grabbed up.
Maybe
those things be collapsing and stuff. And
yeah. Yeah, they can manipulate their body very well.
And they can camouflage. Could beat an octopus.
Be tough because you have to hold your breath too.
Yeah, it would. I feel like it would just drown everybody one by one.
Yeah.
It says it's highly unlikely that even one man could defeat an octopus in a physical confrontation underwater, let alone multiple. This is the AI overview. This is crazy. That's terrifying to know. AI is like, yeah, bro, no, don't do
touch them.
Yeah, octopuses have significant advantages in water. Octopuses are incredibly strong. We know that. Lift about sucker can lift up 30 pounds, multiple arms, dexterity, slipperiness, smooth. Yep. Drowning risk. Octopuses can use their strength to drown a human, especially if they have an anchor point. Oh, because they could just grab onto something under the bed and just hold you.
Just hold you down.
Yeah. Yeah, while some sources suggest that humans could potentially defeat a smaller octopus, particularly in shallow water or with specific techniques like targeting the beak, engaging in a fight with an octopus underwater is generally ill-advised and dangerous. Octopuses are intelligent, like you said, and capable creatures with defensive capabilities that are not easily overcome by humans. Yeah, this is the question I would like to ask, but it doesn't give me it doesn't give like a specific number though. It just says that it's highly unadvised.
Watch yourself.
Because those things terrify me, bro. Like when I see videos of them or stuff like that, because I wouldn't even on one-on-one, I wouldn't even mess with it on land because, like you said, if it jumps on your face, who's getting it off? You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's just you by yourself. Like if it's just you and it jumps on your face, it's not getting off unless it decides to let go.
Yep.
There's just too many suckers.
You're about to meet the beak.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. Because at least I was thinking about like even like snakes. Like snakes do stuff like that. You know, constrictors.
Oh yeah,
but they'll
body.
Yeah, but they'll crush your bones so you can't move. So, but octopus,
it just waterboard you.
Yeah. I think that would be. I don't know how many men, because realistically, right? Like if you were saying 100 men versus an octopus, it's not the same as like a gorilla on land because you could surround it, right? In the water, I don't think you could surround an octopus with 100 men. Not easily, because like we said, like if it decides that it wants to go down onto the bed, of the ocean floor or whatever, and camouflage, well, now it can just pick people off one by one. You know what I mean? Or like it can go inside, like slip into the rocks or something like that. Even like not even like the biggest one, like the smaller size ones. And if it just grabs that ankle and just holds you there, what you gonna do about it?
Or what if, like, even if you did have masks on, what if it was smart enough to go for your masks?
I feel like they would too.
Yeah, and try to just take those.
Yeah,
have you just drown. All right.
Yeah, I'm curious what people would say about that. Like, what would be the techniques? Because like I'm typically optimistic about, at least I try to be, about like fighting animals, but octopus, those are the ones that I really don't. I don't believe that we could beat them. I don't know if there's, because it's just not in water. On land, yeah, but it wouldn't be one-on-one though. I don't think, and without weapons, it wouldn't be one-on-one.
Even if it wasn't, like, imagine if they walked. They still have 4 more limbs than us.
Yeah, it's right.
So they can hold us down while still ground and pound.
It's just the strength of them, like the strength of what they can do with their arms is what is the most terrifying to me, because the idea of, just imagine this, something grabbing you and you're not strong enough, no matter how much weight you lift, you're not strong enough to remove it from from holding you. That's the part, like, you know what I mean? Like, the only way you can do it is by trying to cut it off, but you don't have any weapons, so you can't cut it off, or you would need somebody else to try to rip it off. But even then, it's like, what's coming with it? You know,
I guess you could try having calamari for dinner, or have a little snack.
Bite it, yeah,
fresh calamari. But
they don't do the ink. That's squids though, ain't it?
No, I think octopus is ink.
They got ink too.
Ink, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. If they got ink too, then yeah, I'm definitely not. Do octopus have ink? Yes, octopus have ink. Oh yeah, never mind. It's a no for me, dog. That's one I wouldn't join in on. Sorry, I don't swim well enough. So
yeah, it disorient you, and then next thing you know, you just moving downwards.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, 100 men definitely not surviving that, because they have ink. That's it. It's a wrap. That's all you need. That's all you need. Because once they shoot the ink out, I guarantee you've already lost 70% of the people. Like, they're getting out of there. And then you have 20% are going to be panicking in the water, trying to figure out which way is up, and then I think the other 10% are going to still be trying to find their way to fight through it for whatever reason.
The ones that were able to stay calm enough and keep their breath.
Yeah, and all of them are going to get drowned. So
it's a wrap.
Because 8 of them are, well, probably 5 of them at a time. 5 of them will get pulled, and then and start being and getting drowned, and the other 5 are trying to pull them away. Yeah, and that's going to get ugly. That's going to be a bloodbath.
Compound loss right there.
Yeah, I'm not with that one. Sorry. Sorry, people. If y'all want to do that, 100 men versus 1 octopus in the water, no weapons, you got it.
Go ahead.
I won't join you, because once that ink comes out, everybody's done.
That's getting bit too. That'd be it's like the least thing you're worried about, but then it happens. Like, what the fuck is that? Whoa! That's I'm expecting a poke too.
Hey, that's real. That's real, because I keep forgetting about the beak, man. I keep forgetting about that part.
Yeah,
like, I just keep thinking about the arms and all that stuff, and then you brought up the ink, because I thought that the squids had the ink and not octopus. So the fact that they got ink and then the beak, bro, they're built for that. They're built for that. The fact that they're just not aggressive, all the stuff that could really like gorillas, octopus, like stuff that can really brutally injure you, take you out, they're non-confrontational, which is good for us for the most part.
Yeah, it's how we all get along.
Yeah, because they were confrontational. I'm not swimming in the ocean now, but I for sure no.
If there was stuff out to get us, no. Yeah.
So the fact that they were doing actual octopus wrestling, but they did it smart. They did it in shallow water, but I'm not. Yeah, that's stupid, bro. Lose your life. But anyway, that was my sport for the week. Let's get into the Wiki Game. Where you want to start at?
Wiki. Started just octopus then.
All right, bet. All right, octopus, bro. They are created characters. They got camouflage, beaks, ink, strong, 8 arms, super smart.
Just if they could talk, it would be a wrap.
Remember how we used to play video games and you create a character like on a sports game and you just max all your stuff out to 99?
Yeah, fact.
Max it out. We'll give you everything. All right, where do we want to go to? Oh, let's just go to digital cloning. It's like this, just like music. See it?
Yep.
All right. Sweet. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1. Wiki. All right. Oh, already got away. Oh, that's not what I thought.
Digital cloning.
think I clicked the wrong thing.
I have an idea. I have a couple ideas, but I don't know which way makes sense.
I feel like I thought I was on to something, but now
It was what I was thinking. It was one of the ways, and I just found it.
you did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I found something that I was looking for. Yeah,
What'd you find?
an animal.
Did you? What animal did you find?
Octopus.
Octopus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What type of octopus?
Giant Pacific.
Giant Pacific. Is that the only one you know?
What?
Man, I feel like I'm right there too. If you get, I'm gonna be upset. Man, I feel like I'm about to go in circles.
Hit them donuts. Ketchup. Oh shit.
I'm so far gone. I'm in Napoleon.
Napoleon
Bonaparte. That's where I'm at. This is crazy.
This is okay. I might be on to something.
Are you?
I might be on to something.
Are you?
No.
Let's see. Ooh, I went down a rabbit hole. I don't think I should have went, but
No, I might call in a second.
Yeah. Let me just see if I can.
No, you good?
Yeah. This is no bueno. There's no science. What is this? Are you any closer?
Nope.
Yeah. I might be out of there.
Yeah, I'm not.
Knockout? What was you talking about? Knockout?
It's knockout rats. So the mice that they use to run tests on, like medical tests and stuff. But I was looking for like cloned mice and mouse.
Oh, did they have anything about clones in there?
No.
Oh, okay, good to know.
And then the other way I went was like hard drives and memory cards, computer routes.
Yeah, we might have to call this one.
Yeah.
We've been on that for 30 minutes. Okay. You got me. What would have been the way there? Digital cloning, emerging technology. See, I was in audio and all that stuff. Deep fakes. Maybe if we went to deep fakes. Nah, I don't think.
Maybe. I mean,
Well, I don't see digital cloning in deep fakes though. I tried to reverse engineer it and see, but I don't see it. Oh man, I guess we could have went the digital clones in acting. Yep.
yeah.
We talked about that. I should have just. Oh my gosh, Jordan. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you after we wrap where I ended up. I'm not gonna say it. Sounds crazy. Hey man, look, we got beat. This is probably what the third or fourth time we've been beat though, something like that. We got beat. We got stumped. So make sure y'all go check out to see how you can get from Octopus to digital cloning. We didn't figure it out this time. So, yeah, y'all go do it.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. Oh, hey, and do y'all think? What do y'all think about how many people it would take to beat an octopus in water with no weapons? And what
Sounds
are your
easy.
Yeah. Do your research before you answer. And then what do y'all think about digital cloning? Good thing, bad thing, indifferent, you don't care. How do you feel about it? Let us know in the comments.
Please do.
And as always, make sure you like. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like Jordan was about to say, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification,
and
do what it do, baby.
I never did an intro. So, but that's been another week of the Rick and Jordy Podcast. I'm one half of your host, Jordy.
And I'm the half of your host, Rick.
We'll catch y'all next week.
We out. Peace.